What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman here. Today, we're going to be talking about this specific motorcycle crash. And I know a lot of you guys are brand new riders and you don't like seeing motorcycle crashes, but here's the thing. This is the reality of everything. And this is why we need to be extra careful when we're out riding. So if you're a brand new rider, make sure you hit that subscribe button and watch these videos so that you understand situational awareness on top of the reality of the situation. So let's jump into this.
Yeah. Woo, woo. Fuck. Wo ist klar? Wo ist klar? Geht's dir gut?
Nein.
Was seid?
Pauli, oh bitte schau in den Spiegel.
Ich hab gar nicht Spiegel.
Ah, dann schau bitte nach hinten, bevor du loslässt. Ich glaube, meine Hand ist im Arsch.
Ja, was?
Pretty bad crash, and I understand that you guys might be a little bit squeamish on that one, but here's the thing. There's a few little things that we could be doing to prevent this whole situation, and that's the point of this, okay, guys? So let's jump into this and figure it out. So we have all these motorcycle riders. Look at already, immediately, the first portion of this video is that we have somebody not paying attention. This motorcycle rider right here just decided to gun it. It looks like everybody's looking to turn left, and we got super close. We almost got a head-on collision, which could have been very fatal for this motorcycle rider, and then on top of that, he could have hit everybody else. But if we move forward just a little bit, they're like, oh man, close call, close call. This guy's waiting, and before we could even do anything, this guy is going to be hauling butt also, and then crashing into this motorcycle rider. And that is something that's kind of common. Motorcycle riders, car drivers, anybody that's on a vehicle that's traveling at a high rate of speed, not very good with navigating a lot of that. So how can we prevent this right here? So if we scroll back just, to the very beginning, to be quite honest, if we scroll back, we need to understand group riding etiquette, group riding behavior. Okay, so if there's a bunch of motorcyclists pretty much stopped on the side of the road, that means they are making a decision. They're going to possibly turn left right here. Okay, so as another motorcyclist, if you see this, they're already blocking the lane. Why are we passing everybody? So right there, don't pass anybody. But if we are this rider right here, how do we prevent ourselves from getting hit, if we're turning left in front of this stuff? Well, you really have to make sure you have a good sense of vision. If you can't see around the guy that has the Renthal bars, this guy right here, if you can't see around him, don't make an obvious choice to move off to the left and go over. Another thing you could do is have a Bluetooth system that is connected to a bunch of other people. Some of the newer Bluetooth systems out there have what is called a mesh system. So this rider is connected to this rider is connected to this main rider, and then that rider is connected to the rider that's hauling butt coming down this way. And if you guys get separated, it breaks apart, but then it comes back together like a little mesh. It's actually pretty cool. The person up front can talk to the person in the very back because they're connected to everybody in the middle of the train, basically. So that's another thing that you could do. It's like, hey guys, we're turning left at this situation. Now we can even scroll back further and we can talk about pre-ride meetings. If you're part of a group ride, pre-ride meetings are very, very, very important, to where you guys are saying, hey, we're going to stop here. We're going to turn here. We're going to do this here. We're going to take a break at 30 minutes. If you get lost or disconnected from us, this is our meeting point. We'll be here for 30 minutes after this. This is where you start doing all these different things. So if you're part of a group and none of this stuff was happening, there's no communication, there's no pre-ride meeting, nothing, I highly recommend to not ride in that group. And that's very important because that is going to be a safety principle. It's a safety brief before a big meeting. Now, before we go ahead and scroll forward a little bit more and we watch this, okay, one close call, let's not be like, oh man, that was crazy. It was just a close call and now let's continue on with our day. It's like, hey, this is a pretty big omen here. This is like something that could happen again. Let's be extra aware. We know that we have a bunch of buddies back there that weren't paying attention because we have one already flying forward. We also have a bunch of riders way up ahead and it looks like they're going to be turning around. But what happens to this rider right here? So when they crash, well, both bikes are pretty much destroyed. Your frame's destroyed, your suspension's destroyed, everything's destroyed. It's going to be totaled bike for the most part, or to be too much of a pain in the ass to repair it all. So now what do we talk about riders? How can we help out this rider? Well, he's wearing full gear. He has a full track suit, and that also has armor in the back, elbows, shoulders, and I think sometimes the chest on some of these, but you have hip armor, knee armor, and then he's got boots, gloves, helmet. So right now, he's mitigated quite a bit of his injuries just from having full gear. So make sure you guys have full gear just in case something bad happens. But if you also notice, he was like touching his hands, like something hurt on his hands. This guy's also wearing full gear, and it's going to be very painful though. I mean, at high rate of speed, it doesn't matter if you're wearing full gear. If you hit something that's stopped, it's going to be very painful. It's going to mitigate as many injuries as possible, but it's still, there's just not much you could do on that situation. So from right here, when we were in this situation, let's get those bikes off the road, or at least ourselves off the road. as quick as possible. We don't know of any other vehicles coming around. Now, if you look at this frame right here, how fast was this guy going around this turn? Now, it looks like almost a blind turn. You see how it kind of goes and disappears in the corner. He's going to go fast around that turn. So another thing that we could do to prevent something that's possibly like this, let's not stay off on the side of the road after a blind turn. Let's go and actually merge or go over to where we wanted to go, or completely get off the road like this other bike over here. Let's not be in the same road, okay? Let's not do that. On top of that, if we are coming around a blind turn, we kind of have an idea of where we're supposed to be. Let's not haul ass, okay? Blind turns, very dangerous. It could have been a semi-truck. It could have been a car that he ran into, and it wouldn't have been a glancing hit and then everybody's flying everywhere. It would have been a smash into the back of the truck, and that's it. You're done, okay? There is no waking up from that. So, guys, I understand that you are beginner riders and you want to have a little bit more context to this, but here's the thing, guys. I can't give you guys everything right away because there's just too much information. So what I do is Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have a free 2-hour online training class, and you can ask your questions. We go over crashes. We go over what we need to do. So if that's something that you absolutely like, make sure you click that subscribe button and then watch these other videos so that you can stay informed on what it is that you need to do to prevent your own motorcycle crash or close call. With that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll be seeing you around.